Kiko was reading the article on his pad about Zoo World while he was shaving. This is just weird. It doesn't make any sense. Why put dinosaurs and hyena beasts in the same world? They would just ignore each other. And seems like some childish experiments. Isn't how? Keep reading. That's what they believe is happening. Some immortal bored species is the leading theory, he said as he continued to shave. He was already half done, and she glanced at him. Much better. She put the pad down and just looked at him. And don't you ever say that it's just survival guilt that makes me think you're attractive. He stopped and looked at her. It's not like you have a big option here. Unless you're into pigmen. None. Being a child, and they do a. I got the man I want right here, so why look? Are you always so direct? Yes, and finish shaving. You look like a fool. Danish, Andamar, she replied with a wink. He looked back at the mirror, and he had to agree. Yeah, I need a haircut too. He looked at himself in the mirror, then continued with the shave. Yes, you do. One thing that bugs me. You said you have your handcuffs. Did they kidnap you in uniform? He stopped and looked at her, and she shook her head. No, they raided the safe house. I had not been at the station for a while. Besides, I was an undercover narc. The uniform was mostly for the ceremony. It was hanging in my old apartment. Why? She looked at him, confused, and he suddenly realized something. They were not taking you to your ex. They were taking you to kill you. They thought you had been undercover in their organization. They would probably ritually kill you. Delvey. He looked at her, and she suddenly realized it too, sinking to the floor as it hit her. Shit. Fuck. Peter kneeled down next to her, with a few strands of beard left. Hey, you're safe now. Well, safer now. We are just stranded on an uncharted world with a bunch of Iron Age species. We will fix the ship and get you home safely. Then I will vanish into the universe. You can find a safe husband, and I'll just be a fun memory. He smiled at her, and she looked at him. No, I'll destroy that bastard. It's the only way I will be safe, and you're going to help me. She looked at him and then got up. Now, shave and fix the ship. He stood up and finished as she looked at him, thinking, why did you guys go into smuggling? Why? Well, we all were broken. I'm on meds for the PTSD. All of us were. We won't function on a normal ship. Don't worry. I got enough meds for a few years, more now with access to their stuff. Anyway, it was the jobs we got. Ex-military tend to get weird job offers. Especially if you're not married. The ones that function all have friends and family outside the Navy. Nice. So easy money? She asked, and he shrugged and washed his face, looking at the clean-shaven face. He had to admit, it looked better. That too, but we tried, and we did normal jobs too. I guess we also needed the thrill as well. We are all fed up. Run. He turned to her. How do I look? She kissed him. Much better. He put his arms around her and she smiled up at him. So you don't mind dating a cop? I thought you quit? Nope. Still a cop. Is that a problem? No, just don't arrest me. She winked and was about to say something when the AI spoke up. Alien life force, approaching the ship. They looked at each other, then quickly went to the cockpit to check it out. Computer! Show the alien life force, he said, and the drone showed a large animal about 3 meters, looking like a white furred horse with 10 legs. The legs seemed to be made for moving on ice. On top of it sat 3 aliens covered in fur and woolen clothes. They looked humanoid, but something was off. First, they didn't wear any masks, yet seemed able to breathe in the heavy carbon dioxide air. The first hint was the green skin and bright orange colors. They carried wooden spears and were clearly looking for something. Green humans, Kiko said, and Peter zoomed in on one of their faces. The nose was almost non-existent, just a bump with 4 small holes, and their eyes had large black pupils that made them look black. Well, that explains why we are in this carbon dioxide bubble. It's their lands. I guess we can definitely say it's a zoo world now. Yes. She sat down and just stared at the screen. Will they spot us? The aliens had camped at the lake, right outside the cave. 2 of them seemed to be looking around, and the 3rd was setting up camp. Then another group approached. I don't think so. We are completely iced in. Nee. Then he checked the screen. It looks like those were just the scouts. Looks like a huge group approaching. I guess we just wait them out, right? We have enough food and things to do. Not under Eranjin. Yeah, and it will be a great way to study them to see what we are dealing with. See, you're not some cold-hearted criminal. You're just a bookworm that's been put in an awful position, she said, and he chuckled. Are you going to rescue me? No, I'm going to use you to kill. Get out of here. Kill a crime lord without getting caught, and then go back to being a cop with my boyfriend. Boyfriend? Oh, so. You idiot, I'm claiming you. You're my prize. She looked back at the screen as the next group arrived. More heavily armed. This was not a tribal camp. It was a war party. Oh, are they going to fight the pigmen? Probably. Looks like they are planning to take prisoners, he replied as he zoomed in on the makeshift cages being set up. They are going to use this place as a staging point. Smart, if those pigmen can breathe up here, then they are safe from raids. But why the cages? It doesn't make sense. Undo a she, he replied as he examined them. Wait, they were not cages, they were holding cells. Nayash. Next to them, they were setting up what could only be described as empty skin-stretching racks and slaughtering areas. Oh shit, these are the bad guys. What are we going to do? What can we do? If those pigmen breathe oxygen, then they are dead before they come up here. Nyamasi, are we just going to let them use this place as a slaughter hub? This is some weird as shit. Non-to-die, non-tamen-heil. Yeah, some butcher war stuff. Damned. Well, first off, we don't know if those pigmen are just as bad. Well, right, cheesy, he replied, and she looked at him and back at them. Are we just letting nature take its course? Can we stop it? Yes, we can at least stop this. Scare them away. No. Okay, let me think. We can't fly the ship out, so we have to find another solution. When kind. He looked at the screen, and she watched with him. They seem to drink a lot of water. If we can freeze the water, then they will move on at least. Mwanya, she said, and he smiled. Oh, 1 cryo grenade in the lake, and the lake is frozen. That's easy. Nandio dedeli. Bio. Moru. And you got more of those? She looked at him, and he chuckled. I got 5 crates. Best weapon against bugs. They hate the cold. No. 5 crates? She looked at him, surprised, and then it connected. Oh, because of... Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have a cryogun. I got a launcher for the grenades on the blasters. Do, Tishal. Wait. That's it. What? We turn on the light on the front. It should be seen as something is alive inside the glacier. Then I shoot a hole in the wall and fire an ice grenade in the lake. We can blast some sound as well. I think we should be able to play some dragon-like roar on the stereo and just open the door. Norman, sounds like a plan now. Let's see if we got everything. She replied and opened the screen. She found an old kaiju movie that had some screams that sounded good enough. They had the AI isolated and found some speakers they wired to the wireless connection and placed them on the top of the ship. Then Peter got into position as Kiko. Outside the camp, the night was starting to settle as the sun set. Then suddenly, they saw lights inside the ice, and there was a roar that was the beast they had never heard before. A bolt of fire burst out of the ice and hit the small lake. A few seconds later, the whole lake began to freeze rapidly. The group panicked and ran. Peter melted some more ice and tossed a cryo-grenade to cover up the hole he had made with the gun, then went inside to Kiko, who seemed very happy with the result. "That was great. Let's eat and celebrate."